Hello everyone! Alpha and beta are acute angles such that tangent of alpha is equal to 3 and cosine of beta is given by 4 over 5. Then what will be the sine of 3 beta plus 2 alpha over 4? This is kind of a hard question, but it has a very nice trick to it. So before starting with everything, let's go through few trigonometric relations. So we always know that sine squared of alpha plus cosine squared of alpha will always be 1. Then cosine of double alpha or cosine of 2 alpha can be written in terms of cosine squared of alpha such that it equals to cosine squared of alpha minus 1. And then sine of sum of 2 angles, let's say alpha plus beta, is equal to sine of the first one, sine of alpha, times cosine of the second one, cosine of beta, plus sine of the second one, sine of beta, times cosine of the first one, cosine of alpha. So let's have these three relations in mind, and then let's carry on. So tangent of alpha is given by 3. So from there we can say that tangent of alpha is sine of alpha over cosine of alpha, which is 3. Then sine of alpha is 3 times of cosine of alpha. Let's take both sides to the power of 2. Then this will be equal to sine squared of alpha is going to be 9 cosine squared of alpha. If we add a cosine squared of alpha to both sides, this side will be cosine squared of alpha plus sine squared of alpha equal to 10 times cosine squared of alpha. This is 1. We established that here. And then from here, cosine of alpha will be 1 over square root of 10. We know that alpha is an acute angle, so cosine of alpha cannot be a negative number because alpha is acute, and hence alpha will be at the first quadrant of the unit circle. So from there and this relation here, then we can find out that sine of alpha is 3 times cosine of alpha, and then sine of alpha will be 3 times over square root of 10. Let's have this two in mind and carry on with the rest of the question. So we also had that cosine so let's go. Let's calculate cosine of 2 alpha from this relation. So cosine of 2 alpha will be equal to 2 times cosine squared of alpha, but we know that cosine squared of alpha is 1 over 10. So 2 times 1 over 10 minus 1 from this relation. Then cosine of 2 alpha will be equal to minus 4 over 5. This is very beautiful. Let's say cosine of beta is 4 over 5 and cosine of 2 alpha is minus 4 over 5. This means that 2 alpha and beta are complementary relations. In other words, let's say this on the unit circle. So if this is a unit circle, x-axis will represent cosine and y-axis would represent sine. And then we have found out that we know that cosine of beta is 4 over 5 and it is an acute angle, so it should be, so this is gonna be beta if this is 3 over 4. If this is 3 over 4, then beta will be such angle in the first quadrant. On the other hand, we have derived that cosine of 2 alpha is minus 4 over 5. Minus 4 over 5 is gonna be somewhere here on the second quadrant. Since alpha is an acute angle, 2 alpha will happen in the second quadrant, and then 2 alpha will be this angle. This is minus 4 over 5. From here we can say that this angle here, this one, is equal to beta, and hence 2 alpha plus beta is equal to pi. We already have concluded this from the fact that cosine of 2 alpha is negative of cosine of beta. I wanted to show you visually on the unit circle. So then, in order to construct this, let's multiply both sides of this equation by 3 and divide it by 4. Then then it will be 6 alpha over 4 plus 3 beta over 4 is gonna be equal to 3 pi over 4. And from here, let's calculate 3 beta over 4 and put it inside this equation here, and inside this relation. So 3 beta over 4 is going to be 3 pi over 4 minus 6 alpha over 4. Hence, sine of 3 beta plus 2 alpha over 4 is going to be 3 beta over 4, which is 3 pi over 4 minus 6 alpha over 4 plus 2 alpha over 4. This will be equal to sine of 3 pi over 4 minus 6 alpha plus 2 alpha is going to be minus 4 alpha over 4. In other words, minus alpha. Then from this trigonometry relation of the sum of two angles, we can easily calculate this one. So that will be equal to sine of 3 pi over 4. So sine of 3 pi over 4 is going to be 1 over, or square root of 2 over 2 times cosine of minus alpha will be cosine of alpha, which is 1 over square root of 10, plus sine of the second angle, or sine of minus alpha, will be minus sine of alpha, which is 3 over 10, times cosine of the first angle, or cosine of 3 pi over 4, which is going to be minus square root of 2 over 2. So it's going to be minus times a minus, which is going to be positive, square root over 2. This is going to be equal to, so square root of 10 will have a square root of 2 in it. That can cancel out with this. So it's going to be 1 over 2 square root of 5. Plus, the same thing happens here. So we have 2 over square root of 5. This is going to be equal to 4 over 2 square root of 5, which is 2 over square root of 5. So sine of 3 beta plus 2 alpha over 4 is equal to 2 over square root of 5.